How's she going, boys? Mike here. Welcome back to Grampy's Workshop. Beautiful sunny day here today. After all the rain we had on the weekend, man dear, when it wasn't raining it was pouring. I was wondering why I didn't get the call to start collecting animals 2 by 2. I guess it wasn't as bad as I thought. Anyways, the project we're going to do today is I got a new hitch on my vehicle. So this hitch, it's a 2 by 2 receiver. Goes in under the bumper, looks really nice. But if you put the trailer hitch into the receiver, then it sticks out quite far behind the vehicle, and it's you're banging your leg and your shin into it all the time, and it's just poison. I don't like it. So we don't leave the hitch, the ball, and everything attached into the receiver. So when that's not there, the problem arises where the receiver then fills with road junk, like gravel, silt, dirt, things like that, especially where we're on the dirt road. Fills up pretty quick. So what I do is I want to plug that off. And you can buy plugs, you know, fancy little rubber plugs that go in there and keep the dirt and everything out of it. And it'll say fancy things on them, you know, like, you know, Ford, Montreal Canadiens, Heb sign or something on there. In fact, the Heb sign looks really, really nice. Just saying. Anyways, you can buy those any place, any store have them, but they're expensive. You know, they cost a lot. Well, not a lot, but they cost. And I have an aversion to spending money if I can make something instead of spending money to buy something. So what I have is a hunk of wood. Let me see if I can figure out what this is. This is spruce. This is just a hunk of spruce. Okay. The receiver, it's a 2-inch receiver I mentioned. So when I measure my hunk of spruce, can you see that? Wait till I get her around here left-handed. Wish I was Bruce Pender. Anyway, if you look at that, that's just a little bit less than 2 inches. I'm going to say 1 7/8. And that's about what you want. You don't want it to be a full 2 inches because wood will swell when it gets wet, and it does get wet in there. So you don't want this to swell up and plug into your receiver. So that's already 1 7/8 on that side. So I'm going to cut it 1 7/8 on this side, make a square piece out of it, cut it about 5 inches long, then drill a hole through it. Put another wood cap on the end of it, and I'm going to make a plug for my, what do you call it, hitch receiver. That's the word I'm looking for. I'm going to make a little plug for my hitch receiver. Okay, we're going to do that next. Alright, I'm going to set my saw up here to cut through that 1 7/8. I'm going to set the fence to about 2 inches because then I'm going to put it through the jointer and plane the edges down. But look, the last couple of days it's been hot and cold, hot and cold, hot and cold, and condensation forming on my table saw. Look at the rust on it, eh? So we'll have to clean that up soon. Anyhow, I'm going to turn on the aspiration and cut this piece, so stay tuned. So there we have it. I'm going to dig the jointer out and I'm going to joint those sides. Now, show you that. Wow, look at that. And I thought my saw was rusty. Ooh, I don't know if I can plane this or not. Here we go. So there we go. Now we're going to cut a length off of that, measure the pinhole and drill the pinhole in it, and put a cap on the end. There's my piece with the edges rounded over. Doesn't look too bad. And then I found another piece of scrap wood in the shop. It's just soft wood too. But it's, let me see, it's about, not about, it is. It's 2 3/4 wide. So I'm going to cut a piece square to this, 2 3/4 square. Buff the edges, maybe route them on the router, smooth them off. Drill a couple holes to mount that in the end of this to put a cap on it. So we'll have a look at that in a sec. So there's my cap. I rounded the edges over on that to make it just smooth. I drilled and countersunk a couple holes in it. Now we have to locate that on the end of this bracket. Just put a couple screws in there, and that'll make a dandy little plug for my trailer hitch. So there we have the cap on it. Doesn't look too bad. And then I went just out to the car and I marked, if you can see it right there. Right there, look at that. That's the hole I need to drill to hold my pin that holds the ball hitch into the receiver. So I'm going to drill that hole next. So there we have it, with the hole drilled in it, ready for the pin. We're going to try and stick her in the trailer hitch now. You've seen it here first, folks. Well, that part fits anyways. There, doesn't look too bad. Should keep the dirt out. Cheap fix. I'm not sure. I think I saw those receiver plugs at Canadian Tire for like $11.99, $14.99. That cost me, I don't know, 2 screws and some scrap wood. So there you go. Hope you like it. Thumbs up me. And as always, if you see something in these videos that helps you out, that makes my day. This isn't maybe the best way to do it or the only way to do it, but it's a way to do it. Talk to you.